Good day, everyone. Welcome back sa ating discussion sa Calculus 1. So, in this chapter, we'll be discussing two chapters. So, combination siya ng chapter 3 and chapter 4. Okay? So, these are the topics that we'll be discussing for this week. So, first, we'll be defining the derivative. Next is estimating the derivative. Steps in differentiation, differentiation rules, slope of the secant line, and slope of a tangent line. Okay, so let us first describe or define what is the derivative. So it is the slope of the tangent line to a function at a point calculated by taking the limit of the difference quotient. And the process by which we take this derivative is called the differentiation. So si derivative, as far as I'm concerned, is na-happy natin siya sa previous calculus, do sa discussion natin with the secant and tangent line. Diba? Ang sabi natin doon is yung slope of the tangent line, yung pagkuha natin ng limit niya doon at certain point B is just like that, is the derivative. Kaya nga makikita natin dito sa ating expression dito sa baba na ang f of a, which represents the derivative at that point, is just taking the limit of the quotient function of the difference of the f of x and f of a over x minus a. So si f of x and f of a, those 2 points represent the output depending on what is our input. So we have output f of x if our concern is x, and we have output f of a if our concern is at point A. So same naman sa baba, si x and si a. So meron tayong example dyan para mas lalo pa nating maunawaan kung ano nga ba si derivative. Okay, so balikan natin yung sa mga graphs na tingnan natin last time sa discussion natin sa previous calculus, di ba? Kung matatandaan, ang sabi natin last time is yung secant line natin are just 2 points or line na merong 2 points na intersect sa graph ng ating function. Yung function na itong kulay blue, yung dark blue. Okay? So, if yung isang point is f of x or x comma f of x or then input x, output f of x, and then yung isa nating point na gusto i-consider yung a comma f of a. So, yung line na pwede natin kapag nakapag-drawing tayo ng line na mag-intersect at those 2 points, we can call that as secant line. Again, a line that intersects the function twice. Okay? So, habang nilalapit daw natin or mas ginalaw natin or malapit yung ating x value papunta dun sa a, yung ating slope ng secant line ay mas lumalapit doon naman sa mismong tangent line natin. Kaya nga yung ating secant line as our x value approaches a is also approaching the tangent line itself. So, ano yung sabihin nun? So, ang ibig sabihin nun, habang lumalapit yung ating approximation na x, habang lumalapit yung x natin doon sa ating a na point of concern, is nakukuha din natin or mas lumalapit din tayo sa derivative at that point or nakuha natin yung slope ng tangent line, and by taking the limit of that, we are having the derivative of that function at that certain point A. Okay? So, I hope ay medyo malinaw siya sa atin. Okay? So, ayun nga, as our secant line approaches or as our x approaches A, our secant line is also approaching our tangent line. Okay, but not necessarily at point A. Kasi nga, as we have discussed before, all x only approaches A but not equal to A. Kaya nga, kapag nag-approximation tayo, di ba, sa pag-form ng table, di ba, ang ginagamit lang natin ng mga values ay very close to A but not equal to A. So, halimbawa, ang A natin is equal to 1. So, we do not put x as 1. We put x that are close to 1. Halimbawa, from left side, so 0.9999. So from right side naman, 1.001. Okay, so I hope malinaw sa atin yung concept ng limits. Okay, kasi ginagamit din natin siya dito. Okay, so ayun nga. Sa pagkuha ng derivative, pwede rin tayong gumamit ng estimation or yung tinatawag na paggamit ng table of estimates. So, kamukha lang din siya sa ginagawa natin sa table of estimates doon sa table of values doon sa limits. Okay? So, halimbawa, or for example, for the function equal to x squared, use the table of estimate f
prime 3 or the derivative of the function at 3. So create a table using the values of x just below and just above 3. Okay? So first, gamitin natin yung formula kanina sa dito sa slope or yes, yung binigay natin na first equation kanina, yung pagkuha ng limit ng quotient na para dun sa slope ng tangent. Okay? So, yung ating f of x, this part, yung f 2.9, and itong negative f of 3, that represents our f of 8. Okay? So, yung x natin, since sabi nga natin approaches 3, since ang ating given x is 3, okay? Or ito yung gusto natin maging pinakamalapit na value ng x, yung value dito na given pero denoted as 8. So, dito, ang nakalagay natin is yung tawag dito, yung ating pinaka f of a. Okay? Yung pinaka f of a, yung value ng a natin is 3 or yung point of concern natin or kung yung point kung saan gusto nating malaman yung tangent, yung point kung saan nagiging tangent yung line sa function is this 3 which is denoted by letter A. And this one, okay? So, ang value na lalagay natin sa x, etong f of x and then x minus a, shall be those values very close to our a. So, pili tayo ng below. So, let's say 2.9. By putting 2.9 in our function, so, etong 2.9, sorry, itong 2.9, lalagay lang natin kay x. Okay, so magiging 2.9 squared. Same din dito sa f of 3. So, from x, ginawa natin siyang 3, so we will have 3 squared. And then, we will have 2.9 squared over, minus 9 over negative 0.1. So, proceed lang proceed lang with the difference of this denominator and then substitute this 3 with our function and then same with this 2.9 and we will have 5.9. Okay? So, try naman natin from the right side or just above number 3 or just above letter A. Okay, so with that, we will use 3.1. So doing the same thing, we will have 3.1 squared. Again, papat na lang natin itong dito sa function natin, yung x, papat na lang natin ng 3.1 kasi nga naging f of 3.1 instead of f of x. So we'll have 3.1 squared. Same naman dito sa f of 3, instead of x squared, we will have 3 squared since ang f of x natin ginawa natin f of 3. Okay, so we will have negative 9 or 9 and then minus dito, di ba? So we'll have 3.1 minus 3 and then we will have, excuse me, we'll have 6.1. So, di ba ang concept natin again sa limit and then dun sa pinakita nating graph doon sa sikat and tangent line, mas lumalapit na mas lumalapit yung value natin kay 3 or kay A. Yung value ng x habang lumalapit sa value ni A is mas nagiging accurate yung ating answer. So again, just like yung ginawa natin sa limit, isip tayo ng value na just below 3 and just above 3 na malapit sa kanya. So let us try 2.999. So 3.9 ang lagay natin. So you will have, again, paki-try sa calcu, you will have your answer as, ayan, so again, lagay muna pala natin, ito, substitute natin dito, and then same, itong 3, substitute natin dito, we will have 5.999. So, very clear naman sa atin na yung ating limit is approaching a certain value from left side, and then from right side, makikita rin natin na this value or the limit is also approaching a single value or the limits from the left side and from the right side approaches the same value which is I guess number 6. Okay, so obvious naman siya na number 6. And if we have we have taken pre-calculus before, I know na marunong na kayo mag-derive ng ilang mga formulas or ilang mga functions. So basically x squared is what? So, di ba that is 2x pag kinuha natin yung derivative. And 2x, substitute natin si 3 kasi at that point yung concern, so we'll have 2 times 3, which is 6. Okay, so this is just to explain or dito, illustrate kung paano natin ginagawa or para mas makita pa natin yung essential limits sa pagkuha ng derivative. Ayun, so kapag mas nilapitan pa natin, makikita natin that as our x approaches 3, our output approaches 6, okay, which is the derivative of that function at x is equal to 3. Okay? Okay nga. So the derivative of the function at 3 is equal to 6. Okay, so try naman nating apply yung definition ni derivative. So for example, we were asked to solve for the derivative of the function at 2 at a is equal to 2. Excuse me. I'm sorry. So balikan natin yung ginagawa natin kanina. So 'di ba makikita natin na it's just like the formula na ginagamit natin sa table of estimate. So kamukha rin lang din. Ito rin kasi yung formula na binigay natin sa umpisa pa lang. Okay? Sa definition ng derivative. So, ang kailangan lang natin gawin, so hindi na natin kailangan pang mag-table of estimate. So, dito, diretso na natin i-apply yung natutunan natin sa limits. Okay? So, di ba, before, ang ginagawa natin is we find values from either from left or right or both. So, and then we find the limit as x approaches a. Pero since alam na natin yung mga limit laws or laws on applying limit, pwede na natin siyang i-direct to that. Hindi na natin kailangan na tawag dito na mag-substitute pa ng mga values papunta doon na very close. Okay? So, halimbawa, ang A natin is 2. Hindi na natin kailangan lagyan ng 2.001 or 1.999. So, we can proceed by using the limit laws. Okay? So, with that, again, yung f of x natin minus f of a. So, palitan si a ng 2. Okay, so si x wala pa tayong papalit dyan kasi nga hindi naman tayo mag-estimate. Okay, so si a palitan natin ng 2 since we are solving the derivative at 2. And then yung f of x natin, lagay natin yung original value ng f of x which is 3x squared minus 4x plus 1. So this one is the f of x which is written here. And then yung f of 2 natin, again, substitute lang natin si 2 dito sa ating function. So we'll have 3 squared minus 4 times 2, so 4 times x or 4 times 2, since palitan natin ito ng a or ng 2, so plus 1. So again, huwag kalimutan yung paggamit ng brackets or ng braces or ng parentheses kasi napaka-importante niyan with the sign. Kasi this is negative. So this is negative. I'm sorry for the background noise. So, sorry for the interruption. So, again, this is negative f of 2. So, dapat sa dulo, itong f of 2, imumultiply pa rin natin sa negative sign. Okay? Kaya meron tayong bracket dyan. Kasi common problem or common mistake ng ilan is negative dito. Ito lang yung nagiging negative, yung first term lang. Yung iba, hindi na na-applyan ng negative sign sa unahan or ng negative 1 sa unahan. Okay? So, huwag kakalimutan yun. Then, si denominator, copy natin siya as is. Okay? Kasi wala naman tayong mapapalitan dyan sa x. Kasi wala nga tayong estimate na gagawin. So, yung a, pinalitan na natin ng 2 before. Okay? So, proceed with applying the limit laws. So, simplifying our numerator, so simplifying natin to, we will come up with this part. Or etong copy natin itong may mga variable pa na x squared and x. And then etong 1 is i-minus lang natin dito sa pinaka-simplest form ito. Or kapag napagsama na natin itong mga constant na to, we will have negative 4. And then kapag in-apply natin, excuse me, so di ba natatandaan natin na kapag polynomial naman yung ating given na function, when we are taking the limit of that, we can simply substitute the value of a. Kaso, substitute the value of a to our x. Okay, kaso, ang problema is kapag nilagay natin siya dito, halimbawa dito pa lang, we will have 2 minus 2 which is 4. So magkakaroon agad tayo ng undefined or indeterminate na answer. So what we can do again is we have to simplify first our numerator in a way that we can we can eliminate this denominator which makes our answer indeterminate. Okay, so how we can do that again is by simplifying our numerator. So, since x minus 2 nasa baba, so most probably, yung isang factor natin sa taas is x minus 2 na agad. So, isipin nyo na lang kung ano yung, or computin nyo na lang kung ano yung i-multiply natin sa x minus 2 para maging 3x squared minus 4x minus 4. Okay? So with that, we can come up with this numerator. Okay, so si x minus 2, extracting that from this fraction, or from this numerator, we will have another term or another factor which is 3x plus 2. Na kung saan kapag atin siyang dinistribute, ito pa rin yung answer. Okay? So napakahalaga na kapag nagsisimplify tayo, hindi natin nababago yung meaning ng isang function. Okay, hindi natin nababago yung value niya. Okay, so ayun nga, na-extract na natin sa x minus 2 sa taas, so we can eliminate this one and this one. Okay, so we will have limit of 3x plus 2 as x approaches 2. And with that, we can simply substitute 2 with the value with x. Okay, so we will have 3 times 2 is 6 plus 2, we have 8. Okay, so again, if you have prior knowledge to the derivative of some functions, you can also confirm that by taking the derivative of this function and then substituting to with the value of x. Okay, and then you will come up with 8. Okay, pero later on is discuss naman natin yung mga differentiation rules na mga yon. Or hindi pa talaga natin yung differentiation sa or yung pag-take ng derivative ng functions from their senior high school. Okay? So before we proceed with the differentiation rules, kailangan din na malaman nyo yung steps in differentiation. So, ito yung parang long method ng pagkuha ng derivative. Okay? So, mahalaga na makuha nyo rin siya para at least alam nyo yung concept ng pagkuha ng derivative ng isang function using the long method. Kasi what if yan yung ipagawa ko sa inyo during exam? What if I ask you to take the derivative of certain function by showing the solution on using these 5 steps. Okay? So, kailangan alam nyo rin siya. Okay? So, we have 5 steps. Again, first step is substitute y is equal to y plus delta y. Or kapag may nakita kayong y, palitan nyo lang ng y plus delta y. Pag may Pag may nakita kayong x, palitan lang ng x plus delta x. Pag natapos yun, subtract naman natin si y from both sides of the equation. And step 3, ibalik natin yung original value ng y and then divide all sides by delta x and then take the derivative by taking the limit of the answer in number 4 as delta x approaches 0. Okay, so meron tayong example dito. So, ayan. So, if you have prior knowledge with the derivative of a constant, you'll know the answer here is 0. Okay, but if you were asked to solve for the derivative of this function using the steps in differentiation, you must follow the steps. Okay, so first, again, is substitute y plus delta y kapag may nakita kayong y. So, magiging ganito siya. Okay, and the next step is mag-subtract daw tayo ng y from both sides on both sides of the equation. So, we will have y plus delta y minus y is equal to 5 minus y. Okay, so since meron tayong y dito and negative y dito, we'll cancel that. So, we will have delta y is equal to 5 minus y. And then, step 3 is lagay daw natin yung original value ng y, which is positive 5. Tama. So, dito we have delta y. Sorry, paki-erase to sa after ng number 2, simplifying this, we will have, di ba, delta y is equal to 5 minus y. And then after nun, sa step 3, yung y natin, papalitan natin ng original value niya, which is 5. So, kaya tayo nagkaroon ng 5 minus 5 dyan. Okay? Therefore, ang ating sagot sa number 3 will be delta y is equal to 0. And then step number 4 is divide both sides by delta x. So, 0 divided by delta x is simply 0. Okay? So, di ba yung number na ang numerator naman ay 0 except 0 is 0. Tama? So, that is our fourth step. And then last is to take the limit of our answer number 4 as delta x approaches 0. So, we will have this answer. So, our derivative will be the limit of delta y as delta x over delta x as delta x approaches 0. Since our limit is already 0 or the function is already 0, which is alam naman natin sa basic limit laws, kapag yung limit natin or yung function natin is isang constant, ano man yung kanyang ina-approach or ano man yung nandito sa ating value ng k, still the limit is 0. Therefore, the derivative of y is equal to 5. Okay? So, this is just to show the steps in differentiation. Pero syempre, kung di naman in-specify sa instruction na kailangan gumamit ng steps in differentiation, so you can proceed with the differentiation rule, which will be discussed later on. So, another example. So, yung kanina kasi is medyo parang direct na. So, eto, try naman natin na meron tayong x. Okay? So, medyo level up, pero level up lang ng konti. Okay, so first step is again, kapag may nakitang y, palitan ng y plus delta y. Pag may nakitang x plus, palitan ng x plus delta x. Okay, so since ito ay x, naka-raise itong both itong x plus delta x sa squared. Okay? Next step, subtract y from both sides. So we will have, or you can first expand this part. Okay? So pag in-expand natin siya, we'll have, itong part na to will have x squared plus product nito times 2. So we will have 2x delta x plus itong second term squared. So we'll have delta x squared. So you can also multiply 3 na agad to have the answer. Just like that. So you will have multiply or distribute 3, we'll have 3x squared plus 6x delta x plus 3 delta x squared. Okay, and the next step is subtract y from both sides. So, para ma-isolate natin si delta y dito sa left side. Okay, ito na lang matitira. So, cancel to, cancel to. We will have, sorry. We will have delta y is equal to this term. And then sa third step, diretso na natin, palitan na natin si y na value value niya initially, which is 3x squared. So, again, yung y, ginawa na natin 3x squared. Okay, pero copy naman tong iba niyang kasama. Okay, and then from this, we can cancel 3x squared. We can cancel it because they are of the same magnitude but different sign. So we will have delta y is equal to 6x delta x plus 3 delta x squared. And then step number 4, we have to divide both sides by delta x. So we will have 6x delta x divided by delta x. Diba, that is simply, cancel si delta x, we have 6x. And then ito, we have delta x squared, magiging delta x na lang. So delta y over delta x is equal to 6x plus 3 delta x. So number 5, again, is to find the derivative of y with respect to x, you just have to take the limit of number 4 with as delta x approaches 0. So, take lang natin derivative nito as delta x approaches 0. So, this one, so wala naman siya kasamang delta x. So, wala naman siya, tawag dito, there will be no problem in this one. This will live as is. And then this one, delta x natin approaches 0, since ito ay polynomial function naman, substitute natin si delta x dito, which is 0, so we will have 3 times 0 or simply 0. So we will have our final answer is 6x. Okay, and I know na simula pa lang alam na natin yung derivative niya. Yun nga, kung alam natin yung differentiation rules. Okay, so kung makikita nyo and napansin nyo na rin or na-notice, meron tayong different notation na ginagamit sa derivatives. Okay, so yung nagamit na rin natin before, itong prime, yung f prime of x, yung y prime. So kapag ganyan yung nakita nyo na notation, that means it is a Lagrange notation. Okay? Kapag naman dy over dx or delta, I mean, derivative of f of x with respect to x, that is the Leibniz notation. Kapag naman yung f na may tuldok sa taas or y na may tuldok sa taas, that is the Newton's notation. Okay? So, punta na tayo sa differentiation rules. So, ayun nga, I know na familiar na kayo dito if you have taken your preview on, pre-calculus in your senior high. So, we have 9 na common rule, pero meron pang mga other rules na ginagamit. Okay? Which will be discussed then later through examples. So, first, we have the constant rule. So, proceed na agad tayo doon. Okay, so we have the constant rule which states that the derivative of any constant is 0. Okay, so halimbawa, what's the derivative of 5? Which is yung dinidiscuss natin kanina. Or y is equal to 5. Simply, that is equal to 0. Okay? The derivative of the constant function 5 is 0. Next, so identity rule naman, if you are taking the... I'm sorry for the background noise. Okay, so sorry for the interruption. So again, kapag identity rule, simply, the derivative of x with respect to x itself is simply 1. Okay? So, wala naman na tayo kailangan linawin dyan. Okay, so next we have the power rule. So sa power rule, ito yung ang medyo may nakakalimutan dito yung ilan, okay? Kasi ang common example natin dito is halimbawa x raised to a certain exponent or certain power. So halimbawa x raised to 3 or x cubed. So ang common answer ng iba is 3x squared, okay? So which is tama naman. Pero meron kasing mga, hindi kasi yun yung, dahil yun yung common example, yung iba is nakakalimutan yung importanting part, okay? na, ayun nga, ginawa nila itong concept na to, itong part na to. So, halimbawa, we have here na x raised to 10. I mean, x cube, which is yung given natin kanina, or yung sinabi ko lang ngayon. So, x cube. So, ang ating function is x. Ang ating n is 3. So, ang gagawin mo lang, yung exponent, lagay mo sa unahan, copy mo sa unahan, multiply mo dun sa function mo sa loob, and then yung exponent na n, babawasan mo lang ng isa. Kaya magkakaroon ka ngayon ng 3x, 3 minus 1 is 2. So, we'll have 3x squared, which is the right answer. Kasi nga, ang given natin is simply x. Okay? Just a simple function x. Pero, tawag dito, kapag meron kasing yung function natin is not simply x, meron ka pang kailangan gawin sa loob. Nagkataon kasi na si x, ang derivative niya is 1, tama? So, kapag sinundin natin tong formula na to, we'll have, ayun nga, yung 3x squared. Yung 3, yung exponent na 3, binaba natin. Yung x, kinapin lang natin. And then yung exponent, binawasan lang ng isa. Kaya we have 3x squared from x cubed times the derivative of the function inside. And di ba alam naman natin na ang derivative ni x with respect to x is simply 1. So this 1 will become times 1. Okay? Ang problema ng iba is kapag hindi naman x yung nasa unahan, or yung function natin, hindi lang siya basta x cube. Halimbawa, tawag dito. Halimbawa, trigo function, like cosine squared x. So, ang ginagawa lang na iba is copy lang si cosine, or tawag dito, kapag hindi na sa ulo yung si differentiation rule, or may tawag dito, kapag yung function natin is not simply x, or meron pa siyang derivative inside, aside from the exponent alone, or aside from applying the power rule, nakakalimutan nilang i-take yung derivative ng function. Okay? So, eto kasi nagkataon na kung x yan, simply 1 to. Pero what if yung nasa loob is, halimbawa, 2x. So, halimbawa, 2, I mean, sa loob ng parenthesis, we have 2x. So, we will have 2x cubed. So, ang mangyari doon, we will have, again, baba si n, which is 3, times 2x, copy si function sa loob 2x, and then n minus 1. So, ang n natin, again, 3 minus 1, we'll have 2. So, we'll have 3, close parenthesis, I mean, open parenthesis, 2x raised to 2. Okay? So, pwede mo siyang i-simplify by distributing square or the power of 2 and then multiplying 3. And then, the important part is to take the derivative of the function inside, which is, ang derivative ni 2x is 2, tama? So, meron pa tayo dito times 2. Okay, so I hope medyo naintindihan, or I hope I made my point regarding sa power rule. Okay, kasi common mistake ng iba is kapag nakuha na yung ito, nakakalimutan na kuhanin yung derivative ng function sa loob. Okay? Yan, so ito yung common example natin. Na if we have x raised to 10, baba lang natin si 10, and then yung copy si function x, and then yung exponent niya will be just the exponent minus 1. So we have 10x raised to 9 times the derivative of the function, which is x. Applying identity rule, we will have 10x raised to 9 times 1, or 10x raised to the 9th power. So sum rule naman, so same concept lang din siya sa dito, sa ginagamit natin sa law of limits, sa pag-add ng mga limits or ng mga functions. So same lang. Take mo yung derivative ng first term, take mo yung derivative ng second term, and then add them. Okay, so halimbawa, ito x squared plus 5. Take the derivative of x squared, you will have 2x plus derivative of 5, which is 0. So we have 2x, simply 2x. Okay, so dito sa part na to, pinapakita ko lang yung n minus 1. So we'll have 2x raised to n minus 1, which is 1. So we'll have 2x. Then derivative of the constant is 0. So we'll have answer na 2x. Okay, so ganyan lang din kasimple ang sum rule. So same lang sa difference rule. Okay, so you just have to apply the other rules and then proceed by getting the difference of the terms. Okay, so ayun nga. So take the derivative of x cubed using the power rule, you will have 3x squared, or 3x raised to 3 minus 1 times 1, kasi nga x is equal to 1 kapag tinake natin derivative, or derivative ni x is 1. So we'll have 3x squared times 1 plus 2x raised to 1, kasi difference nila is 1, times 1. So we'll have 3x squared minus 2x. So that is for the difference rule. So pag constant multiple rule naman, so same lang din yung na-discuss na natin before sa other topic naman. So same lang din naman ang concept. Take the derivative of the function, then multiply it with the constant. So we have 3x squared. So what you can do is, kung hindi siya naka-enclose sa parenthesis, okay? So kung x lang yung naka-raise sa 2, so what you can do is isolate 3 or dito, sa dulo nyo na i-multiply si 3. So we will have 3 times the derivative of x squared, which is 2x. 2x raised to 2 minus 1 times 1. So we have 3 times 2x or simply 6x. Product rule naman. So sa product rule and quotient rule, ito lang yung may kailangan kayong tandaan na mnemonics. Okay? So ang mnemonic kasi dito is VDU plus UDV. So what does that mean? V or victory du plus UDV. Or pwede magkapalit, pwedeng UDV plus BDU. So ano yung sabihin nun? Ang ginagawa natin, yung first term, yung f of x, we can denote that as u, and then u, and then yung ating second term can be denoted as v or victory. So we are taking halimbawa the derivative of uv with respect to x. Okay, so instead of f of x, this will be denoted as u and this will be denoted with victory. So we will have here u times v. Okay? So ginagawa lang naman natin yon as mnemonic para matandaan kung ano yung gagawin. So dito na papasok si BDU or UDV. So ano yung sabihin nun? Ibig sabihin yung v natin, yung g of x, multiply lang natin sa derivative ni u. Okay, kaya v du, v times derivative of u. So, yung v, multiply lang natin sa derivative nitong first term, which is this one, plus u naman times derivative of v. Okay? So, yun naman ang lagay natin sa second term, multiply sa derivative ni second term. Okay? So, meron tayo dito example para mas maliwanag. Okay? So, in this given, we can assign these numbers or these terms. Halimbawa, this is our first term, the second term. We can denote this as U and this one as victory. Okay? And then right after that, we can proceed with our product rule. Okay, so how do we do that? Again, we remember the mnemonic VDU. This one again is our U. This is our V. Applying VDU, we will have V times derivative of U plus U times derivative of V. Okay? Pwede rin naman siya magkapalit since this is addition. You can have UDV plus VDU. Again, it's just first getting the product of the second term and the derivative of the first term plus the product of the first term and the derivative of the second term. Pero ayun nga, nakakalito pa siya sabihin and memorize kung yung first term, second term. What we can do is UDV plus VDU or VDU plus UDV. Okay, and then following that, again, copy lang natin si victory. Take the derivative of u, which is x squared plus 2. This is simply 2x, tama? Kasi 0 na to, this will become 2x. So we will have 3x cubed minus 5x times 2x. Second term naman, copy si u, which is x squared plus 2, yung u natin. And then times the derivative ng victory, which is 3x cubed, we will have 3 times derivative of x cubed, we will have 3x squared. So we will have here 3 times 3, we will have 9. 9x squared minus 5. So doing that, we will have this one, or simplifying yung sinasabi ko kanina. So we'll have, again, ito times derivative nito, which is 2x. And then yun naman, derivative ni v, which is 9x squared minus 5. So simplifying na lang to, kailangan na lang nating combine like terms. We will have this one, so expand pa lang yan. And then combine like term, we will have 15x raised to 4 plus 3x squared minus 10. Okay? So that is how we apply the product rule for the derivative. So we have naman the quotient rule. So quotient rule naman, ito yung medyo matrabaho lang ng konti. Pero kaya rin siyang tandaan. Okay? Or meron din tayong mnemonic dito. Again, yung numerator naman natin, still yung f of x, will assign that as u. Okay? And then yung g of x, yung denominator, will assign that as victory. So we will have naman here derivative of u over b with respect to x, or d times, or d, tapos open and close parenthesis u over b over d over x. Okay, etong f of x, sorry, etong f of x over g of x, gagawin lang natin u over b. And then we can proceed with the mnemonic vdu minus udv all over b squared. So dito, medyo maselan tayo kasi negative yung given natin na side. So dapat sa unahan si vdu minus udv over b squared. Okay? So, etong unahan na to is nagkapalit lang ako ng sulat dyan, pero same pa rin siya ng concept. Okay? This one is our V times u dv, or the derivative of u, minus u times derivative of b. Okay? All over v squared. Again, the mnemonic is b du minus u dv all over v squared. Okay? So, let us have an example. So, find the derivative of 5x squared over 4x plus 3. So, again, denote this as u and this one as v for x plus 3. Then we can proceed by remembering the mnemonics. Okay, so again, v, which is 4x plus 3, times the derivative of u. So, napalit lang na sulat, which is v du. Pa rin yan. v du minus u dv. Okay, over v squared. Okay, again, I hope malinaw siya. The numerator natin will be v du minus u dv all over v squared. Okay, and from that, we just have to apply the other differentiation rules. Okay, the power rule and the sum and difference rule. We will have this one will become 10x using the power rule and the constant rule. So we'll have 10x, copy si v, minus, ito naman will become 4 na lang kasi 4 times 1 or 4 times derivative of identity rule or use identity rule, this will become 1. So 4 and then constant will have 0. So we'll have 4 times the v du minus u dv. So times u, we will have negative 4 times 5x squared all over v squared. And then simplifying, we will have 40x squared plus 30x minus 20x squared over 4x plus 3 squared. Okay, so we just have to apply basic math. Okay, and then pwede pa siya ma-simplify. Diba? We have x squared pareho. We will have 20x squared plus 30x. Okay, so that is our answer. Okay, so again, kailangan nyo lang tandaan si mnemonic for the product and the quotient rule. So, we have naman yung tinatawag na extended power rule. Kasi sa power rule natin kanina, yung n natin is equal to an integer which is not equal to negative or 0, which is not equal to negative or 0. So, what if meron tayong mga given na negative yung kanyang exponent? Okay, so what we can do is, same concept lang naman siya sa power rule. Okay? So, kamukha lang din siya. Kaya, there are times na pwede nyo na siyang i-direct na ganun lang din ang gagawin. So, halimbawa, x raised to negative 4. Again, si k mo, ibaba mo lang, you will have negative 4 times, copy si function sa loob, si f of x, which is x, and then exponent still minus 1. So, you have negative 4 minus 1, and then times derivative of the function inside, which is 1. So, you will have negative 4 x raised to negative 5 times 1. Or you can rewrite this by, by re-illustrating this or writing this in another form, or doing by writing it as 1 over x raised to 5. Okay? Kasi if you want to remove the negative 5 here or the negative sign here, you can do that by putting this one in the denominator. So you can have negative 4 over x raised to 5. Okay? So instead, kung halimbawa ayaw mo nang may negative 5 na exponent or ayaw mo nang exponent na negative, you can write this term, yung naka-raise do sa negative exponent, as denominator. Okay? So that's why your answer can be this one or this one. Okay? That is for the extended power rule. So balikan lang natin yung slope ng secant line. Okay? Sa slope of secant line, again, same lang yung pagkuha natin. So, halimbawa, yung ating given, we have two given points, yung x and then CA. So, you just have to, take the difference of their output and then divide that by the difference of the input, or take the difference of f of x and f of a and then divide that by x minus a. So, that is already the slope of the secant line. Okay? Pwede rin naman gawin express x as a plus h. Okay? Or yung distance ito plus ito, which is also denotes x. Okay? Or distance x. or and then syempre papalitan lang din natin si x dito ng a plus h. Okay, pero you can already use this one for the slope of the secant line. Okay, so yun nga, as written there in the diagram, to get the slope of the secant line, you just have to take the difference of the output and divide that by the difference of the input. Okay, or if I'm not mistaken, I think it's like the rise over run pagdating naman sa physics natin. Example, evaluate the slope of the secant line, f of x is equal to 1 over x through the points negative 4, comma f of negative 4, and 1, comma f of 1. Okay, so ano atang dito? Sorry, evaluate daw natin yung slope na yun at the function or through the points negative 4 and 1. Okay, through the coordinate or through x as equal to negative 4 or 1 or x is equal to negative 4 or positive 1. Okay, kasi pwede sila magkapalit. Halimbawa, ito yung gusto mong gamitin x, ito yung gusto mong a, or pwede mong gamitin to as a, ito naman x, so no problem with that. Kasi ang slope naman natin is yung pinaka-tarik or dito, pagkakaslant ng ating or yung pagkaka-flat ng ating slope. So it is regardless naman sa sign natin. In dito, kapag kinuha lang natin yung kanyang pinaka-slope. Okay? So again, to get the slope of the secant line, you just have to follow the formula f of x minus f of a over x minus a. Okay? So with that, palitan natin si x ng halimbawa negative 4 kung yun yung pinili ko as x. So we will have f of negative 4 minus f of 1 over negative 4 minus 1. Palitan lang natin si x ng negative 4, palitan lang natin si a ng positive 1. Okay? Then after that, what you have to do is consider this function. So since ito ay f of negative 4, itong x mapapalitan ng negative 4. So you will have negative 1/4, so 1 over negative 4, or lagyan lang natin si 4 dito sa negative sa unahan. So you will have negative 1/4 minus 1. So bakit 1 pa rin? Kasi 1 over 1 is 1. So still you will have 1 dito. Over negative 4 minus 1. So wala naman na bago sa denominator. So simplifying this term, we will have positive 1/4. Okay? So yan yung ngayon yung ating slope ng secant line. Pagdating naman sa slope of tangent line, so ayun nga, based dun sa ating definition of derivative, katulad lang din siya ng pagkuha ng derivative. Okay? Pero halimbawa, ang given sa ay yung mga points, so you can use that to determine the slope of the tangent line. Okay? So, katulad lang din, again, ng definition sa derivative, you just have to take the limit of the difference of the outputs divided by the difference of the input as x approaches a. Okay? So, ayun. So, rewriting that, we will have, or from that, we also have this, which is our mathematical expression for the derivative or mathematical definition for the derivative. So, let us have an example. So, nawala yung animation. Okay, so, ang given natin is yung ating function, x squared, and then ano daw yung, or ano daw yung equation ng ating line, tangent, doon sa point at x equal to 3, or tangent sa 3. Okay, so, let us first dito, determine the slope of the tangent line. Okay, so we can do that again by taking the limit of the function or taking the limit of the dito, output, taking the limit of the difference of the outputs and divided by the difference of the input. So again, f of x minus f of 3, palitan lang si dito, si f of 3 doon sa ating given. So we will have 9. Okay? Then si x is, hindi naman natin siya basta pwede palitan ng 3. Okay? Kasi we are not taking the estimates dito. Katulad kanina, we are using the limit laws. Okay? We are not estimating. So hindi natin siya pwede basta palitan. Okay? So divided by x minus 3. So copy lang natin. And then, since we have x minus 3 sa baba, and x squared minus 9 sa taas, pag nilagay natin si 3 sa x na yan, considering na they are polynomial functions, magiging indeterminate because we will have 0 over 0. So what we have to do again is to simplify our given expression or equation or function. So since x minus 3 sa baba, we have to extract or eliminate this by extracting a factor in our numerator which is equal to x minus 3. So, with that, alam naman natin na ang x squared minus 9 equal lang yan sa x plus 3 times x minus 3. Okay? Or you can, halimbawa, write nyo muna kung hindi pa sanay doon sa, hindi pa siya kayang i-solve ng ganung way. So, what you can do is x minus 3 sa denominator, so sulit nyo agad sa x minus 3 sa taas. And then isipin nyo kung ano kayang i-multiply nyo sa x minus 3 para maging x squared minus 9. Okay? And from that, you can eliminate these parts. Okay? So you will have only limit of x plus 3 as x approaches 3, which is a polynomial na pwede na nating substitutean ng value na 3. So we have 6. Okay? So the slope of this function at x equal to 3 is 6. Okay? So meron na tayong slope. So if we want the equation, better is we have a point for that line. Okay? So, ayun nga, as I've said, kung meron na tayong slope, maganda kung meron na rin tayong point para ma-describe na natin yung equation nung line na yun. Okay, so how do we do that? Since nasolve naman natin kanina na at x as equal to 3, meron tayong nakuhang point or output. So, or na-confirm natin na based din dun sa given natin na problem, yung line daw natin is tangent sa x equal to 3. So, ibig sabihin, dun siya nagpapas. So, kailangan na lang nating alamin kung at what output or at what point in y siya nagpapas. Okay, para makuha natin yung exact coordinate kung saan nagpapas yung or saan yung pinaka-exact coordinate kung saan tangent yung ating function or yung ating, yes, kung saan tangent yung ating function. So, with that, kuhanin lang natin yung value ng f of 3. And di ba alam naman natin yung f of 3 from this is 3 squared, we have 9. So, itong kanina. So, we will have our point or coordinate is 3, 9. Tama? So, we already have the slope, which is 6. We also have a coordinate, which is 3, 9. Or we have the point 3, 9. So, what we can do now is use the slope point formula or point slope or slope point equation para makuha yung equation na line na yun. Okay? By using, again, the point slope or slope point formula, which is y minus y sub 1 is equal to m times x minus x sub 1, where m is the slope and y sub 1 and x sub 1 are the points given. Okay? So, substitute lang natin. We will have y minus 9 is equal to 6 times x minus 3. And then simplifying, we will have y is equal to 6x minus 9. So, we have 6x minus 18. So 6 times negative 3, negative 18, plus 9. So we have negative 9. Therefore, this is our equation of the line na tangent at x is equal to 3 with slope na 6. Okay? So doon sa learning element na sinesend ko sa inyo via email, meron pa dong ibang mga example ng sa chapter 4 na pwede nyong mapag-practicean kapag mga ganitong problems yung may encounter nyo. Okay? So, ayun. Kung makikita natin sa ating graph, etong line na to, yung ating function na x squared. And then this one, this line, na tangent at x equal to 3, exactly at y comma 9, this line is represented by the equation y is equal to 6x minus 9. Okay, so kung sum natin yan, dito sa line na to, or sa point na to, yung 3 comma 9, dito siya nag-intersect, or nag-touch with the function. Okay, so yan. So, discuss pa tayo ng ilang mga examples for the derivative. So, pinapasolve daw sa atin yung derivative ng function na to. So, pwede natin gamitin dito yung power rule. Kasi y. Or y. Kasi pwede nating express si square root into exponent, which is raised to 1/2. Okay, so I hope alam natin yung nangyari doon or yung ganyang ginagawa kapag meron tayong mga nth root. So, kailangan lang natin gawin is etong term sa loob, raise yan, meron niyang naka-raise sa 1. Okay, hindi lang pinapakita. Itong buong term na to is raised to 1. And since ito is square root, you have here 2. So, ang mangyari, yung power nito sa loob, which is 1, and then yung root nito, which is 2, yung denominator. So, we have 3x squared plus 2 raised to 1/2. And then kung ganyan yung given, you can proceed with the power rule. Okay, and then from power rule, using the power rule, you can come up with an answer. Okay? Pero medyo hard work siya or merong better way ng pag-solve, direct substitution using the formula. Okay? Meron kasi tayong formula for the roots which is or for the square root, okay? Which is simply the numerator will be the derivative of the function inside the square root and then yung denominator will be 2 times square root of the function or copy lang natin si given function tapos maglagay lang tayo ng 2 sa unahan. Okay? So example, or I mean let us solve this using this formula. So again, take lang daw the derivative of the function inside. So take the derivative of 3x squared plus 2 and then copy si function sa baba then multiply si 2 sa unahan. So taking the derivative of this we have I think 6x plus 0. So we have 6x over 2. And then 6x over 2 is simply 3x, tama? So we will have, ayan, so ito yung kanina, 6x over 2. And then we will have 3x over 3x squared plus 2. Okay? If you will use power rule, I think you will, or I'm sure that you will also come up with this answer. Okay? So you can try that. But again, you can already proceed with this formula if you are given a square root. Okay? So next we have this one naman, yung kapag merong nasa ilalim na, tawag dito, may nasa ilalim na variable and then meron siyang power or simply merong variable na nasa denominator. So again, you can use power rule. Okay, kasi nga flexible si power rule natin. You can express this instead of x squared, itaas natin siya. Kaiba nung kanina, kung ayaw natin ng negative na square root sa taas, baba natin siya para maging x squared na lang siya, mawala si negative 2. Okay? So, and then from this, you can proceed with the power rule. Pero meron tayong isa pa, para formula if given this situation. What you have to do is, kapag meron kayong, halimbawa, constant as numerator, and then sa baba meron kayong uh, variable raised to a certain exponent or certain number, you can you can proceed with this answer or you can proceed with this derivative. Okay, you just have to multiply negative 1 with the constant and the exponent sa baba. And then yung sa baba mo naman, you'll just have to plus 1 or add 1 sa ating exponent. Okay? So let's do that. So si 3x cubed, wala naman tayong problema. That will simply become 9x squared using the power rule. So itong nasa second term, ito na lang yung gagamitan natin ito, which is again, si negative is huwag natin kalimutan. So we have parenthesis dito. So yung 2 natin as n, you will have that as negative 2. Katulad lang dito kanina, yung n natin naging negative times the constant. So we have negative 2 times 4, we have negative 8 over the denominator will be x raised to 2 plus 1 lang. So you will have 8 over x cubed. Since negative to, multiply negative, you have positive. So the answer is that 9x squared plus 8 over x cubed. Or pagsamahin natin, we have 9x to the fifth power plus 8 over x cubed. Okay, so sorry for the interruption. So another example. So ito naman, kapag kapag nasa loob ng ating function nga is hindi na lang isang term. So you can also use the power rule here directly, but pwede rin naman na ito yung gawin natin. I mean, dito, pwede mo siyang i-expand muna and then proceed with the basic clause. Pero what if masyadong malaki yung ating exponent dyan or let's say raised to 10? Okay, so hindi mo naman siya kailangan i-expand pa before you proceed with the differentiation. So again, you can use the power rule para ma-solve mo na siya agad. Okay? So siguro naman hindi magiging masyadong brutal na ibibigay sa exam natin is raised to 10 and then kailangan pinaka-simplified pa yung answer. Okay? So hindi naman siguro ganun. So you just have to apply the power rule pagdating dito. Okay? So ayun nga, katulad ng sabi ko kanina sa unang discussion or unang part ng sinabi ko sa power rule, again, to apply the power rule, yung 3, yung n natin, lagyan natin sa unahan, copy the function inside, which is 4 minus x squared, and then yung n natin will be minus 1. So we have 3 times 4 minus x squared raised to 2, and then multiply with the derivative of this function inside, which is derivative of 4 is 0, minus derivative of x squared is 2x. So we have 0 minus 2x or simply negative 2x. Simplifying, we will have, or yan, so nire-write lang natin siya. Simplifying, we will have 3 times negative 2x, which is negative 6x times 4 minus x squared quantity 2. So that can be our final answer. Or you can expand that, depende na lang sa instruction na binigay sa given. Okay? So that ends our discussion for chapter 3 and 4. So stay safe and thank you.